My name is MinUk in class celebrated. Now I'll start my narrative speaking. Looking at some students in my high school who are wailing aloud after being bullied by some bad guys, I promised myself not to leave them alone. That's why I became one of the students prosecutor in my high school. There, if the students violate the rule, then he will be given some kinds of points, and if the points are over than the limit, that person will be sent to a teen court and must be judged and then will be punished by the judges. There I was really famous for a cruel prosecutor because I didn't care about why that person violated the rule. Only one thing I cared was that if his points were more than the limit or not. What changed my attitude just happened without any expectation. Last year, I remember that it was rainy day in the middle of the summer. So from the morning, by the fact that my clothes or bags were wet by heavy rain, my mood was very bad from the morning. So I really wanted to find some students who violated the rules so I could relieve my stress by teaching him not to do that anymore. So I started to check the student record, and finally I found that one sophomore violated the rule again on that morning, and finally his points were more than the limit. So feeling lucky, maybe I consider that opportunity as a good chance to relieve my stress. I sued him to a teen court. One of the judges told me that the teen court will be held after the lunchtime, so I prepare for the teen court. Preparing for the teen court, I found something very strange, which was that all of his violating record was consisted of the same reason, which was that he was late for the school more than 15 times. I didn't care much about why he was late for the school because I was a cruel prosecutor. And still there was one more thing that was really strange, which is that teachers' opinions about him were very nice. And a lot of teachers told me that he's actually a very nice student and he always tried to be positive in every work. But I didn't care much because I was a cruel prosecutor. Finally, it became time to go to the teen court, so I entered the room where the teen court was held, and the sophomore was already there with the judges and other students, about 20 or 30 people. As I entered the room, the teen court finally began. So As a prosecutor, I talked to other students that sophomore must be judged and must be punished very harshly because he had repeated the same fault more than 15 times, and that means that he had never considered about his fault, and he would maybe repeat the same fault again if he does not get any punishment there. So I talked to the judge to punish him with very strong punishment, which was that to call both his parents to the school and giving him some volunteering job for the school more than 1 month. And it seemed that the judges or other students were agreed to me, because there were even some students who were applauding at me. And also the sophomore seemed to be very nervous because his both legs were trembling like branches in front of the heavy rain or strong wind. Also his face's color was very dark with a deep shadow in his face. So I was sure that the court will end with my defeating at him, maybe, yes. And just at the moment, something strange happened. That sophomore suddenly started to cry. And it was the first time that I saw some students in the court started to cry, and I have never seen such crying. So I was very embarrassed, so I couldn't move anymore, and I just stopped there just like a statue. Actually, who broke up that frozen atmosphere was the sophomore's student lawyer. That lawyer began to say something to other people and me, that actually the sophomore had not any fault, because in front of my city there are a lot of islands, and he said that the sophomore was one of the students who lived in the island. So every morning to attend to the school, he must ride the boat. But there is heavy problem there, that if on that day if it rained heavily, then he cannot attend to school, because the boat cannot move on the heavily rainy day, just like that day. So at that moment, I checked the student record again, and I found that all of his lateness was done in a rainy day. So I was really embarrassed that I just felt that all of his crying was just because of me, and I didn't check very specifically about his record, and I didn't know that he lived in the islands and he must ride the boat. He didn't stop crying just before the end of the court. So finally the judge spoke to him that it is right that he doesn't have any fault. Yeah, on that day I reflected on myself a lot, because if I were more specific about his record, then that student would not cry on that day. So after the teen court, I went to him and told him that it is my fault and please forgive me. Forgive my rudeness for suing him without any examination. So finally he told me that that's okay, and he will try to keep a rule, even it is hard to attend the school in a rainy day. So on that day in my house, just before falling asleep, I talked to myself again, not to hurt other people by my fault. Yeah, that's it.